it. Speak up.
I see it. Here we go.
All right, we live. Hey, faithful, how's it going? Welcome to the McNiner and Lee show. This is my guy over
That's my
here,
guy right there.
Damien
My
Lee,
guy right there.
in enemy territory. You know,
Friendly enemy.
yeah, we won't talk about them because that we ain't worried about them.
Mm-mm.
But we've had a couple games go by since we streamed last, folks. So we got to talk about last game we talked about was the Jags game, and then that was absolute destruction. So you know, then we came home and we played another Florida team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We ended up poking a hole in the side of their ship with our pickaxe. We're the 49ers, we're miners, and they sank. I honestly thought, Damien, that we were going to beat them. I thought we'd put up 34 on them, something like that. But the thing I was saying beforehand, people were asking me is I was worried about that defense, because they have a veteran defense. They've been around the block. They've
Mm-hmm.
been together a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Like their linebacker David, that guy, he's a good linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of their players that they play as a unit very well together. And they held us to 27 points at our house. So I don't think they did too bad. I was a little worried about those wide receivers though, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I
Mm-hmm.
was a little worried about, but
Why were you worried about Tampa Bay? Why were you worried about them? Okay,
um,
start. Well, okay. Tell me why you were worried about them on the offense, and then tell me why you was worried about them on the defense. Start with the offense. Why were you worried about them?
on their wide receivers, versus
Hmm.
our corners, Tavarius Ward, all season long I've been having flashbacks to Josh Norman.
Oh
You
Lord
know,
Jesus, no.
shout out to Mooney Ward though. He's taken those feelings away the last couple weeks. You know, and
Don't you? But
Lenore. I thought it might take a couple games for him to be able to flip that switch from outside corner to nickel corner because it's two different jobs.
mm-hmm.
Nickel corner, you got to worry about playing the run, and you're going up against kind of speedy, shifty receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're on the outside, you don't got to worry about playing the run. That's not your responsibility. But we bring in
Okay.
Ambry Thomas. We did the right thing and benched Isaiah Oliver. You know,
Okay, and you say you was worried about the
and
receivers, but don't you need a?
I was worried
Okay,
about
you
the receivers.
but you wasn't worried about the quarterback though, right? You need a quarterback to get the ball to the receivers. So that's like okay, you when you say you was worried about the receivers, that's like saying you worried about a gun without bullets.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Okay, so I mean,
You know,
and I think me you talked about that game. I think weeks before that happened in Tampa Bay doesn't frighten nobody. I love Mike Evans. I told you I love Mike Evans. Good receiver.
oh yeah, very good
Good receiver.
receiver.
His talent is being wasted right now in Tampa Bay. It's being wasted. I think he's 30, right? Mike Evans, he's
Yep.
30, 29, about to be 30, whatever, something like that. And the defense, I don't mean to jump you, but the defense, there's a point in time when your offense or defense can stay together too long and be complacent. You know what I mean? When you just okay,
Hmm.
you just show up. When you go to work, you just going through the motions. You have no excitement, but you just there just to show up. And I think that's what happened at Tampa Bay. So no, I'm not. I wasn't worried about Tampa. I think when I saw that team on our schedule, I thought about okay, 15 to 13 points. That's what I thought. A touchdown and 2 field goals or whatever, you know, however it fit. I didn't see them scoring 2 touchdowns, 15 to 13 points. That's what I saw. You need a quarterback for that team. You have a veteran team with no leader. I mean,
That's
Tom
true.
Brady. Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady's gone. He's in alimony heaven right now.
You ain't lying. Giselle makes a lot more than he did. But, Baker Mayfield, he's average. He's actually having one of the better seasons of his career. Shout out to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin for helping him out with that.
Hmm.
But Tampa Bay is one of those teams you don't know who's going to show up. They showed up, they played hard, they walked
They
out
played.
with the L,
They played. They
you
they
know.
played. They played to their limitations. They played to who
Yep.
they are. They're not. I mean, no offense to Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield is not Tom Brady.
I thought that, the Jaguars game, it's like that was we're pissed off. We just lost three in a row and had to think about that over a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Niners took it out on the Jags and they only put up 3 points.
Mm-mm.
And then next week, this is when we're starting to come into ourselves. This is the time of year we start to play good football. So here come the Bucks. Walk out of there with the 27-13. Wasn't that the end score? And now, you know, one more week goes by, not even a full week, because we only had a few days rest, and it's
Days off.
Turkey Day. You know, Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, folks. And here we are playing the evening game at Seattle. And I'm not gonna lie, when the schedule came out, we did a stream on Bryant Cult. I picked this as one of our losses. I actually picked the Cleveland Browns game as one of the losses, but I thought they'd have Deshaun Watson. You know, I looked at that game like this is where we're going to get caught slipping. And we absolutely played like trash in that game. But I did. I picked that game as a loss. I picked this Turkey Day game as a loss because it's at Seattle, and it always seems like Pete Carroll has something for us. But
What, some
with
chill day?
four in a row against Pete Carroll, a couple weeks from now we play him, but we're not thinking about that game yet, folks. One game at
Mm-mm.
a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to think it was Russell Wilson that had something for us. I think it was like he's playing the
Mm-mm.
49ers. Something about the 49ers is like these guys got 5 rings. I got to show out against these guys every time I play. And then, the Seattle did the right thing and they got rid of Russell Wilson to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they robbed him because the Broncos not only had to trade him all those picks, they had to sign him to a humongous contract.
So you think it was Russell
But
Wilson? You think it was Russell
I think
Wilson?
I'm starting to think that if we win the next game against Seattle, I'm really going to be saying it was Russell Wilson. You know,
I'm saying it's Marshawn Lynch.
could be.
I'm saying it's
Even after he retired, they went on to beat us a few years in a row. Then 2019 came, and that last game of the season where we're either locking up the number 1 seed or we're a wild card team, depending on if we win or lose. And same thing with Seattle. They had the chance to lock up the number 1 seed. And the Sea Chickens killer, Dre Greenlaw, held their tight end out of the end zone. So, it was a great thing to see, just because of how Seattle has dominated us for a while there. We weren't a good football team and 15, 16, 17, and 18. We just weren't. But here we are, years after that. We now have a 4-game win streak against them. I'm knocking on wood again, folks. I'm not doing the announcer curse. And we walked in there and mollywopped them. It was like Javarius Ward was covering DK. He was all over the guy. I haven't seen Javarius Ward play this good all season. It is so great to see because having a number one corner you can count on moving forward is so key in the NFL. NFL is a passing league.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this point, we walked in there. Our defense only allowed 6 points. Tip
Mm-hmm.
ball, they got the INT, pick
Mm-hmm.
six,
Mm-hmm.
but our defense still only allowed 6 points. So,
Do you think? I
you
mean,
know,
do you think? I mean, do you think you fell under the trap of a forced rivalry that, like the rest of the NFL media, you know, people want the Niners to have a rivalry so bad with the Seahawks, but that's not a rivalry. I mean, give and take, every team has somebody that can get them once in a while. But then it's like,
yep.
here's the thing. Okay, let's say you go to the lake. Anybody likes fishing? Here we go. You go to the lake and you throw a rock in the water. It makes a ripple. But after a while, that ripple goes right back to water, straight clear water. Nothing.
Yep.
And that's how I see the Seahawks. It's like if you take the Cowboys and you put them in the AFC. No offense, the Cowboys are an NFC team, and I respect the Seahawks, but the Seahawks when we played the last time we played them, they showed who they really that's who they really are. That's a Dave Craig, Cortez Kennedy team. I don't care if Ellen or Pete Carroll is running that team. That is still an AFC team.
Well, since they joined the NFC West, though, and this is
Uh
maybe
huh.
even before that,
Uh huh.
our overall, we've played 51 times. They've actually
Mm-hmm.
won 30. We're at 21 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, they joined the NFC West at the right time, right when Ed the Bartlow handed it to the Yorks, and the Yorks didn't really know what to do with it. Let's be honest.
So
You
bad
know,
timing. So bad timing.
well, good timing for them, bad for us.
Yeah,
Yes.
bad time for my,
Yeah.
they called us with our pants down. They called us with our
hmm
pants down, and that happens.
Shout out to Mike
Name,
Singletary.
name me one team that has went perfect for 50 or 60 years. None. Even the great Mike Tomlin over in Pittsburgh is going through things right now.
And he is. That he's still
So
never had a losing season, by the way. Just a side note.
yeah, I mean, I respect Seattle. They're a good wild card team, but that's it.
Well, at this point, their schedule actually gets tough. They play some teams. I think they play the Cowboys, I
What team?
believe, this next
What?
week.
Oh no, that's Thursday. I think that's next Thursday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who's on I know someone's on a bye week this week. I don't think it's the Seahawks though.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, yeah, it's 2 days from now. They go to Dallas.
Yeah, they got the
So
Cowboys in. They got the Cowboys in a day and a half from now. What's it? Two? Yeah.
yeah, their schedule's kind of the next 3 games will tell you if they're making the playoffs or not.
Oh Lord.
Because right now, I believe they're 6-6, or are they 6-5? Let's see. One loss, one win. One win, one win. They lost that one. So what? That's 3-2,
Mm-hmm.
4-2, 5-2, 5-3, 6-3, and they lose two more. They're 6-5. 6-5 going into this next game.
If you look at
And
if you look at
wow,
that
that so
if you look at that salary
mhm.
that the Seahawks have on that defense, they are in win mode now, but they have the wrong. They I don't. It's hard to describe where Seattle. I mean, the defense is over. I mean, they have the defense salary wise to win a Super Bowl.
well, defensive backs, they're corners. They have a lot draft like higher draft picks invested in their corners. I think they signed one of their like they have that big contract for Jamal Adams, and I
And then
honestly
they
don't
got
think he's worth it.
and Bobby Wagner and who's the other guy?
Yeah,
They got some
yeah, their front seven's kind of
overpriced.
they have an interior guy they traded from the Giants, Williams. He's pretty
Yeah,
good,
Leonard. Yeah,
but
yeah, that guy from I like Leonard Williams.
without Nuosu, their pass rush is below average. I don't, those corners are going to literally have to hold up for 3-4 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds if they actually want their pass rush to get there, which is an advantage to us because our pass rush will get there in a little bit over 2.5 seconds now. But so Seattle, the game we're talking about, we got us a sea turkey to start the bird hunt, folks. We got us a sea turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Got to eat turkey on their field.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge, revenge. And now the Seahawks go to Dallas to the 49ers. They have the Eagles coming to town, which I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to be rooting for the Seahawks in that game.
Really?
Um, oh yeah, oh yeah. Anyone that
Mm-mm.
can hand the Eagles a loss, I'm a fan. Just for one game though. Don't get me wrong,
Are you
folks.
f- against the Eagles? Mm.
I won't be hanging up a flag behind me or anything like that though. Don't worry, it's not going to happen. But then they got the Titans at Tennessee. I honestly think they'll win that. The Titans are got a rookie quarterback starting. The Steelers go to Seattle. That's going to be an interesting game
Mm-mm.
because the Steelers still kind of don't have a
Steelers don't.
quarterback.
Yeah, but trust in Mike Trust in Mike Tomlin.
I
I, I
I,
trust
I
in
do
Mike.
I do I do.
I trust in Mike.
Then they go to Arizona, and that's a divisional matchup. You never know what's going to happen, right?
No, quarterback don't even study. He don't even study. So,
So their playoff bid hinges on this next three games. Can they win one of these three games? And you
mm,
know, I honestly think they could if they really wanted to. Hey, we got Bashar in the chat, Bebop, Randy Daytona, East Coast Red and Gold. What's up, Jess? We got John LaJoy. I believe Bryant's up in here. Yep, he is. Bryant's up in here. Say hi to the family, Bryant. Pet the dog for me. Um, Bruce. Yep. But and so our schedule, you know, we're going to Philadelphia. It's the bird hunt. Already got us the sea turkey. Now it's time to get us a Kegel. Yep. If you don't know what a Kegel is, folks, I would suggest you Google it. But then we got, of course, Seattle coming to town.
mm-hmm.
This is the game that, it's at San Francisco. We better win that game. Then we got the Cardinals. We got to go to Arizona, which isn't much of a flight. You know, not we don't have to travel too much. It's always pesky though because it's a divisional matchup, right? Even though the Cardinals aren't good, they'll still play us like it's their Super Bowl. Then we got the Ravens coming to town on Christmas.
That's the game I want to see. That's the game.
That definitely is the game I want to see. You know,
Not
the
just,
Ravens are
yeah,
they're a good football team. They got to go all
not
the way
just
across country and come see us. You
not
know,
jinxing it, but that is the Super Bowl preview right there.
yeah,
That-
that
That's the
that's
Super
something
Bowl.
we'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna
My bad. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead
something
though. My
that
bad.
Levi, Darwin's Raven, a guy that streams with us, brought up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But then we got to go to Washington and play the Commies. Kind of a dysfunctional franchise under Dan Snyder, now under new ownership.
Magic Johnson.
Please, please, God, change your name. Change your name. You are not an XFL or USFL team. The Commanders, come on, change your name. But then we got the Rams at the 49ers. Hopefully, we at least re-sign Dante Johnson for that game.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we just got done, beating the Sea Turkeys. We got us a Sea Turkey. Got to eat turkey on the field. George Kittle, shout out to him, took the turkey back to the locker room to share with the rest of the crew. You know, they deserved it, right? And now we got this other team we're coming up against. We got to go to Philadelphia again
Hmm.
and play the Eagles. And the Eagles have kind of looked shaky lately. I'm not gonna lie. It's
You
the
think
last
so?
couple games that they haven't done anything that says I'm taking this game. That hasn't happened.
You think? Do you think they're all? I remember that game. I remember watching it. Me and you were on the phone last year when this happened. When they played the Niners in the title game.
Hmm.
Philly is the team who they are.
Yeah,
I tell you
took them.
this: if Dallas, if, if Dallas would have played us in that title game without a quarterback, Dallas would have beat us. And I don't like Dak Prescott. Dallas would have beat us. And I'm gonna get.
This
And I
is
don't mean to go off,
this is
but
true though. Josh Johnson was not ready to go in the game. He wasn't.
the thing is, I don't mean to go off topic. I have been watching. I have been watching Jalen Hurts when he was at Alabama, and there's a reason. I won money on this game when he played it when Alabama played Georgia. Nick Saban pulled him out at halftime and put in a guy named Tua Ty. I don't want to butcher his last name because he wants to run. And no offense to what he did last week, a couple days ago, he is not. I like Jalen Hurts, but he's not going to beat you with his arm. If we get a lead on him, if we get a lead on Philly, he's still going to try to run the ball. And how did they beat Buffalo last play?
Quarterback. I
Run.
think it was an option. I think it was a
You
RPO,
don't.
run pass option play.
You don't trust AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a
AJ
top
Brown
five
is
wide,
one of the better receivers in the
top
league right now.
top five wide
But
receiver.
we have a guy. We got Mooney Ward. So
Yeah,
here you go,
but
Mooney.
what I'm
We'll
but
see.
what I'm saying is Jalen Hurts reverts back to his old habits.
From Alabama.
I
Starts
watched that
running
game.
the ball.
I
Yep.
watched that game when Georgia had a lead on Alabama. I won money on that game. Nick Saban yanked him
Well,
because he wants a quarterback.
let's talk about the Eagles' last couple games. They played Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. David,
What just happened?
you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead, Kansas City.
I don't know. I don't know why it did that. But so Kansas City is not at the top of their game,
No.
and you know I honestly look at that game like they beat themselves. You know, Patrick Mahomes throws a pick when they're driving down to score. Travis Kelsey, you know, fumbles the ball. Maybe he was distracted by his girlfriend not being there. Who knows, right? Shout
She
out to
doesn't
Taylor
cook.
Swift.
She doesn't cook.
Hey, hey, if I had money like that, I'd pay someone to do it too. You know, share the wealth, right? But maybe he was a little distracted. You know, maybe he's 34. I think maybe 35 at this point. Travis Kelsey. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Uh,
But you know, is he toward
one
the end of his career? Yes, he is. You know, Patrick Mahomes is not.
quick question: do you think
So
that Kansas?
they need to do something. You
No,
know,
no. Quick question. Quick question. Do you think Kansas City is better than Baltimore? If we had them play tomorrow, do you think Baltimore could be? You think Kansas City could beat Baltimore? Neutral site, neutral field.
mm,
Game tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
neutral site. Neutral
Yeah,
site, yeah, I think they could. I think they could. And it's not because of the Patrick Mahomes and their offense. It's because of Kansas City's defense.
you don't think Lamar can handle them?
Wow. You Google Travis Kelsey and it brings up Taylor Swift. He's 34 years old, folks. So he is, you know, in the twilight of his career, and maybe he's starting to lose it. You know, who knows, right? But yeah, that Kansas City did not look like themselves playing the Eagles. They gave them a couple. The Eagles ended up walking out of there with a victory. They didn't earn it. They walked out of there with a victory. Then here comes Buffalo. You know, it
Oh
was
Lord.
kind of a fun
Oh.
game to watch. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
Mm-mm.
and Buffalo ended up being Buffano, just like you said, Buffano, and they missed a play that would have just won the game in overtime if their wide
Mm-mm.
receiver
No,
would have cut
it's
in
not that.
instead of cut out.
No, it
He would
wasn't
have
that.
caught that. They would have walked out of there. Buffalo would have beat Philadelphia.
Their kicker missed two.
So
Their kicker missed
at
two
this
field
point,
goals.
you know, the last couple games, the Eagles, yes, but the last couple games, the Eagles have needed the other team to screw up to win the game. They haven't took either of these last two games, and now they got us coming to town. I believe we are in mid-season form. If you watch streams I'm on earlier in the season, you would hear me say we're not in mid-season form yet. I think we're in mid-season form. We're walking in there relatively healthy, you know, minus Hufunga. Shout out to the guy. You will be missed. And I honestly think our chances of winning this game are really good,
Mm,
especially if we are able to keep Brock Purdy upright. You know, last time the Eagles played dirty, they knocked out two of our quarterbacks. This time, you know, hopefully we have Charlie Warner. I mean, we won't have a tight end blocking Hassan Reddick. I'll say that right now. That's not going to happen. And you know, Feliciano. This is another thing, buddy.
mm.
Feliciano played pretty good football last week.
Remember, I told you
We were running the ball behind him.
that was a
You
big
know,
difference. He's stronger. He is physically stronger.
he has got 25 pounds on Spencer Burford, and well, an inch in height, but 25 pounds.
And
So
common sense.
he definitely is
And
stronger.
common sense.
When it comes to decision making, you know, he's not the most athletic guy on the planet. He's not going to blow you away with athleticism. That's not going to happen. Decision making, if he's put in a spot and he has to pick one of the evils, he's gonna pick to block the guy that's more than he's gonna go with the more of the evil. He's gonna try to block the guy that can get to the quarterback quicker. He's gonna make the right quick decision. You know, the lesser of two evils for the quarterback is what I'm saying. And those little quick decisions like that make differences in football games. So at this point, if Burford's healthy, I still want to see Feliciano starting at right guard. I do. They played better last week than what I've seen in the previous weeks. Spencer Burford, he tries hard, and he's young. He's only in his second year. He does have time to grow. But at this point, I don't think we have time to be developing, guys. We're in a window.
Yeah.
We're in a window. We're in mid-season. It's win or cost us a number 1 or 2 seed right now. Which, thanks to our 3-game losing streak, we now have to win and need Philly to lose another game to be tied with them in the loss column. I mean, all we can control is what we do. We have to win games.
Mm-hmm.
And going up against Philly and then Seattle, Seattle, it always seems like they're a tougher task. This season we handled them. Last season we won 3 against them. This season we got to win. The Eagles have the 31st ranked pass defense, folks. 31st ranked. And you're going to be going up against Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings, and Brock Purdy. I honestly, we all know Kyle knows this. He knows they stink against the pass. So I'm thinking we're going to be seeing some quick, short passes. They do have a good tackling team, though. They don't miss a lot of tackles. So I'm not necessarily expecting a lot of yak, but I'm definitely expecting us to pass the ball all over them. Now, running the ball, if I saw the Bills do it, and they're not a running team. I did see the Bills running the ball. They actually inserted one of these guys they drafted last year. I believe his last name was Davis. And he's a house. He's a big boy. He's a nose tackle. They inserted him in there to try to stop them from running the ball. And it worked. But, he's going to be going up against Aaron Banks and Feliciano, and they're both 6'5", 325. They're big boys. We have Jake Brindle in the middle. I don't know if we can. I honestly just hope all he does is, right when the ball snapped, he kind of sees who has the advantage on who when it comes to Banks and Feliciano, and he just helps that guy out. Don't just designate yourself to help out one guy. Philly's defensive 4, they're pretty good. They are. They're pretty good. But, they don't have Hargrave anymore. They have a rookie, Jalen Carter, and he's looking pretty good.
Okay,
they don't have Hargrave.
Let's dissect Philly. Do you believe you need a quarterback to win the Super Bowl? Do you think so?
Need a quarterback? Oh yeah, you definitely need a quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, you remember last year me and you were talking during this game. How many quarters did it take them to beat the Niners in the title game? How many quarters did it take Philly to beat the Niners?
It was just after the third quarter is when they started.
So it took the quote best team to beat us in 3 quarters.
without a quarterback.
Without a quarterback.
We had a
It
guy out there that couldn't throw the ball at that point
but
because
it took
Josh
them three.
Johnson was knocked out of the game.
Yes, but it took them 3 quarters to beat us without a quarterback.
Ooh, John LaJoy saying Fletcher Cox is questionable. He's a veteran, been around a long time. If he can play, he's going to play. Same thing with Lane Johnson, Mr. False Start. I don't know why he gets away with it, but Mr. False Start, he's also he hobbled. He's not going to be 100%. And he's going to be going up against Chase Young and Nick Bosa. So, at this point, well, I say bring on the Eagles.
I'm not sold on Philly. I'm not sold on Philly. I'm really not.
I'm not either. They have a lot of games they've squeaked out of there with a victory. They got beat by the Jets without Aaron Rodgers.
You need a quarterback that can.
The Commanders. The Commanders almost beat them. It's they've had some victories where it's like they're just squeaking out of there with a victory. Like I talked about the last 2 wins, they needed the other team to screw up to win that game. And if the other team doesn't screw up, we could be walking in there tied with them record-wise, But they got lucky. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And they walked out of there with the victories, We only thing we can control is what's in front of us. And what's in front of us is the green chickens, folks.
After that title game, I'm not worried about them. Not worried about them. Took them three. It took them three.
The whole talk about a running quarterback against us, though, and
okay.
I kind of think we have something for that this year.
Who is that?
What do we have? It seems like.
What do we have?
We have a guy named Javon Hargrave, and having him and Armstead in the middle, it enables us to keep the pass rush lanes. And we don't have to do all the crazy stuff that we had to do last year to try to get to the quarterback because we have, he played hard. T.Y. McGill, or, Kevin Gibbons is actually pretty good. He's pretty good. But, we had T.Y. McGill and we had Javon Kinlaw in there getting pushed around because I think he was scared to hurt his knee. That's my honest opinion, folks. Right now, Javon Kinlaw he's actually coming in there like he's not scared to hurt his knee. He's playing harder. He's playing better football than I've seen his previous 3 seasons. Our starters, Hargrave, Armstead, we got Javon Kinlaw, we got Kevin Gibbons. We got the guy that hasn't been activated, which is our nose tackle. I would like to see him active, but
Kalia Davis?
Coach's decision. Kalia Davis. Hey, he's that short, stout guy that's going to hold up against, their offensive linemen and hold them in place. 310 pounds.
Was he
literally the same frame? He has the same frame as Hargrave, but Hargrave's got bigger legs. He has more, lower body.
He has a bigger base. He got base, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he a coach's scratch last week? Do you know?
I don't think he was. I thought I saw him on the field in uniform.
Okay.
And you know who else is back?
Oh, I like Robert Bill.
Mac Attack.
Oh, you saw
Mac Attack.
Mm-hmm.
He special teams. He grabbed the ball and threw it back to Ronnie Bell so they could down it at the 2-yard line or 1-yard line. Kept it from getting in the end zone. Nice to see Womack Attack back, folks. That's
there we go.
Going to be a big lift for us going forward. It gives us a 4th corner we can put in. We don't have to put Isaiah Oliver in on defense. We can just he's good at tackling, so let's keep him on special teams. And the run back they have, our special teams coverage unit is still a problem. This is something we can talk about. The run back they had. Did you see who caught the
Ambry
runner from
Thomas.
behind?
Oh my bad. No.
Daryl Luter Jr., the
Yeah,
rookie.
Luter.
The
I like
kid's
Luter.
fast. So now we have corner depth and
Mm-hmm.
we have no safety depth anymore.
Is
We
there a
lost
way?
Odom.
Is
We
there a way
lost
we can?
Odom.
Is there a way we can scheme around that though? Do you think Wilkes can? Because Wilkes is a backfield guy. Do you think Wilkes can like scheme a way where we can work around that?
Huh.
I mean,
The Carcast just put an update in the chat and said the Eagles are trying to get a linebacker, Darius Leonard, from the Colts, but I think they cut him. So I believe he has
Darius.
to go through waivers. And I don't know, like, if he made it all the way through waivers, there's a reason he made it all the way through waivers, right? There's a reason.
Nobody
It's
wants.
like that. The
Nobody
do
wants me.
not purchase, the do not purchase sticker,
Mm-hmm.
but no one ever knows what's actually wrong with guys. Like, I think the guy was often injured and the Colts just gave up on him.
Hold
But
up. You said
either
from the
way, if
Colts, right?
they
From the
sign
Colts?
him, it's already Tuesday. It's already Tuesday. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. He ain't gonna play this weekend. There's no
Hold up.
way. You know,
The Colts. Hold up. The
he would
Colts is
play the
having
game
an
after though.
exodus.
Hmm?
The Colts is having an exodus of players.
Yes,
That's
they are.
number 3 in 2 days. But that's not our team. That's not our problem.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm far from worried about the Colts.
So yeah,
That's a them problem.
yeah. You know,
They're one of those fringe football teams. Could be a QB away from being pretty good. And
mm-mm.
their rookie QB is out for the season. He's hurt. But if the Eagles pick him up, then the Cowboys have also met with them.
No, the Cowboys have met with that Leonard guy today. He came up to
Yes, so
Dallas.
that's who I'm talking about. That's who the Colts cut, the linebacker. So that means nothing's set in stone, folks, and chances of him playing Sunday are really low. Wherever he signs,
Trying to think who.
But I mean, the Eagles are, like I was saying, 31st pass defense in the league. There's only 32 teams. So, and where they get cut up is where we like to pass the ball, in the middle. So I expect to see a lot of Kittle in the middle. I expect to see
Mm-hmm.
Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, CMC. Maybe even we'll get our tight end too, Juice, involved in this. That's what that's what he should be.
Why not? Why not just run Philly over? Use brute force. Teach him a lesson.
Insert what, Jordan Mason, and let him bruise him up for a while.
No, like I mean, like to be honest, if let's say we get the ball first, I would just pound the ball up the middle on him. Kill gets the first touchdown. And
if
then
we win the coin toss, Kyle has been going back and forth with deferring and taking the ball.
no, what I'm saying is if Philly wins, we should just start out
Philly
and
wins
just
the
like
coin toss.
yeah. What I'm saying is if Philly wins, let's pull Ivan Drago and just knock them out. Don't even let Apollo Creed get up in the second round. Just knock him out. Hurt him.
We need to.
We have a we
We need
have
to
a
walk. We need to walk right down the field and just score on them. Get up and make Jalen Hurts have to beat us with his arm instead of them
something he
just
can.
running the crap out of the ball.
But do you trust? I mean, do you? I mean, so my thing is, do you trust Hargraves and Armstead to keep him out the middle? Because that's what Hurts like to do is run up the middle, like he did Buffalo.
I honestly do because when it comes to Armstead, he had a bad habit. Like most of the time, we'd be rushing him on the edge, and he would have a bad habit of just running right by the quarterback. This year, we've kept him inside. He's coming from the D tackle spot. He's been staying in his lane. And that's the main focus. You have to do your job, stay in your lane, keep that big running hole from opening up. Don't let him escape. And at this point, our defensive coordinator likes to blitz. And Philly has that offensive line that's one of the better in the league. So I'm seeing Greenlaw and Warner. I'm seeing them blitzing the quarterback.
What about Brown?
And
What about Brown?
Jair,
Yeah,
that's a possibility. That's a possibility. But Devontae Smith is way fast, and Lenore is probably going to need some help with him over the top.
because we got now that we have Luter and we have Woman, we have speed now. We have speed
We
and
do.
youth. We
Hey,
have speed.
look at how Ambry Thomas has played. I don't care if he practices like garbage. Look at what he does in the game.
Shout out to
It
Allen
always
Robinson.
seems like he makes a play every game, play or two every game. It's like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's trash. Oh, Ambry Thomas, just cut him." I'm glad we didn't cut him, folks. I am glad we didn't cut him
It's just
because
practice,
he's a
David. It's
gamer.
practice.
He's a
It's
gamer.
practice.
He's just one of those guys that doesn't practice well. What's up, Big Mac? We got Ryan, No Border Sports in the chat too. What up, buddy?
What's up, Ryan?
Randy Daytona, the faithful, he's always around. But I mean, at this point, we just got to walk into Philly, punch him in the face, throw him over the fence, and let him know who the boss of the NFC is. That's what we got to do.
Okay, so let's say, okay, can I say this? Let's say we jump out 21-3 before halftime. Are you comfortable
If
with that?
we're able to get up, 24-3 at halftime, then
Hmm.
it turns into let's just run the ball, power run game down their throats.
Elijah Mitchell, third
Eat the
quarter.
clock, eat the clock. Yep. Elijah Mitchell, hopefully he's running the ball like he was in the last game. He averaged 6 yards a game, 6 yards per carry, I mean, in
Hmm.
this last game. So if we see more of that, that's going to be, I haven't been big on Mitchell because he was averaging 2.44 yards a carry on the season before that game.
Yeah, didn't.
I've been, hammering for Jordan Mason. But at this point, the Eagles' defensive backs are trash. I mean, I'm with Debo here. 31st in the league against the pass. They got Darius Slay and some other guy, but they're still 31st in the league against the pass. So I'm confident our wide receivers and tight end can handle that. We're going to be getting chunks, here and there. I don't know about Yak. We'll have to see if Debo is able to run over a couple guys. Hopefully, him
I'm
and
not.
Cudlip can handle
I
that.
wouldn't even be
You
worried
know,
about Yak. I would be more worried about time of possession. I want to be at least 2.5, 2.5 to 1. I want the ball at
man,
least. I want
that'd be like us having the ball for like 42, 43 minutes of the game.
just straight
You know,
running, straight running, straight running.
that's ideal. That's ideal. It's keeping wearing their defense down, and their offense can't score points if they ain't out there.
I mean, you
And
have
keeping
I
our
would
defense fresh, which is the main thing. That's the main thing I want to see.
because I want to see CMC in the slot, and then you put Mitchell in the back and just run the ball. Because CMC's doing good in the slot. Remember that he did a catch again. Who was that covering him? It was like a little 5 yard catch he did. But
No border sports. What about we send Trent in motion and hit Riddick to stop him from, just running
oh,
up the field? Whoa,
oh,
what happened to my guy?
right here.
But and you know, it's not a bad idea. I wouldn't be
There's not
opposed
good.
to bringing in an extra offensive lineman. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Juice, he's effective when it comes to blocking in the run game, but seeing him stand on the sideline to get another offensive lineman in there, like say we start Feliciano, let's put Burford out there to play fullback. Let him go through the middle and pound some people. You know, maybe even. I mean, having six, he would have to check in as an eligible receiver to be legal, but we could literally play a 6-man offensive line.
Who who was that guy? We had somebody that had good hands on the line. I forgot who it was. It was no, it was who was
Big
that
Mac,
Brock?
I would love to see 35 to 15. I would love to see that. I hope that ends up being the outcome. I think the Eagles have, gotten lucky and, things happen to just keep them in games like Josh Allen throwing a interception at the wrong time. When he did that, I was like, is he James Richard Garoppolo with the arm and legs? It's like, what are you doing, man? He's actually been good for turnover a game, Josh Allen. So,
Nice
but
contract, lovely contract.
hey, at this point, we need our offensive line to play well, take care of the ball, don't turn it over.
Control the clock. Control the
Those two
clock.
keys of the game will lead to a
Control the
W. And I
clock.
don't care if it's by 1 point or if it's by 40 points. We just got to walk out of there with a W. Make a statement.
I mean, we if we just
Oh,
pound
Big
Philly, we'll
Mac.
be. Hold up.
It would be ideal. It would be ideal, but yeah, maybe try Kinlaw at
I think
fullback.
that's
Now, I don't want him to hurt his knee though, buddy.
no, no,
I
no,
don't want to see him hurt his knee.
no, no,
You know,
no, no, no. Kinlaw can pull a fridge. Let Kinlaw carry the ball over at the goal line.
he could.
Just put it. Just tell him. Think of everybody on the other side is Grant Cohn. Oh, you back?
Well, what's going on is I think I'm on a shared stream yard and someone else is streaming on it possibly right now. I don't know. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
still on. I don't think he is. But at this point we're approaching 55 minutes. You got anything else you want to say, Damien?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
I I see the score. I see I say 27-14. Last second touchdown
27
by
to 14.
last second touchdown.
I'm honestly thinking our defense will hold them. I don't know what our offense, how good our offensive line is going to hold up. That would be my biggest concern. But
I, yeah, I'm seeing 27-14.
I could see it. I could totally see that happening.
And they get that
I
and they
hope
get
I
that
hope I hope we just mop the floor with them. You know, and
mm, I want
Philly, the stadium was
to
Link. Ban batteries this game. You're going to need to ban batteries this game and not give the fans in the stands bottles. Don't give them anything to throw. No bottles, no cans.
I want to tease them. I want to tease them. That's why I want the game to be close. Make them think they're better than what they are. Because I know they're not going to.
I,
I don't
I'd
see.
rather just,
Mm-mm.
you know,
I see. I see Philly getting knocked out in the first round. I really do. Philly's gonna get knocked out in the first round. They're not gonna hold top seed.
well, this week they play us. And then I believe next week they go to Dallas. And
That's
Dallas
two
had
losses.
them at the link. At the
That's
link.
two losses. That's two losses.
They did. They had them. So can Dallas pull out the home game against them? I 100% believe they can.
Let's go, Prescott.
And then we hopefully that happens and we just control our own destiny and just have to win games 1 week at a time. You know, heard Fred Warner say it enough times to the point. That's exactly what it is. It's 1 week at a time, folks. One game at a time.
Mm-hmm. Piece
Go
by
out there
piece.
and get the W. You know, it's what we got to do. But yeah, at this point, I think it's time to play my outro. Shout out to Tony Culp for helping me make this. And yeah, shout out to Tony Culp and Bryant.
Kinlaw at fullback. His knees. His knees.